Everybody, welcome. My name is Sandra Mendoza, and I'm the General Manager and owner of Harmony Sun City Care, assisted living facility located in El Paso, Texas. Together with Paulina, who works with us at the facility directly in the operations field, we will be addressing this webinar. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the first webinar. Where the only thing we are looking for is to help and to explore together more about the deep theme that is the elderly population. During these webinars, we pretend to clarify any doubts you can have about assisted living facilities. So the theme for today is 12 signs that it's time to consider an assisted living facility. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome everybody. I'm gonna start sharing some screens, the presentations, and you can follow all the 12 signs that we're gonna mention. Okay. Okay. Okay, as a parent of grandparents' ages, many of us typically try taking care of them on our own for as long as possible. It becomes difficult after a time, however, and sometimes it becomes more than we are equipped to handle. When assessing whether or not you and your loved one should consider placement in an assisted living facility, there are a few signs that could indicate this will be the right move for you. The first sign is care is becoming untenable. One sign that you should consider assisted living is you or the caregiver for your loved one. It's becoming increasingly tired and or frustrated with the amount of care required by your aging loved one. Perhaps your loved one is becoming more needy or less capable of performing things on their own, and this is wearing the one providing care down. This is a sign that an assisted living facility will be a possible step forward. Second sign, accidents happen with frequency. Falls are the most common forms of accidents. More frequent accidents or close calls with accidents happen more often as someone ages. Falls are the most common forms of accidents and often go undetected for long periods of time. With staff always around, an assisted living facility might be the right choice to consider. Another sign is medical care is needed with more frequency. This means whether it be a chronic condition that is worsening or a slow recovery from an injury, the need for frequent medical monitoring is a big sign that maybe it is time to consider an assisted living facility. Fundamental personal care tasks become more difficult. This means when personal care can become difficult as a loved one ages. If your loved one claims to be performing daily bathing and dressing on themselves, but you notice faint odors or clothes they have worn for several days in a row, you may want to consider an assisted living facility. Sign number 5, diet suffers. If you are consistently seeing food go bad in your loved one's refrigerator or see that they are losing weight, They may not be eating what is necessary to remain healthy. This could lead to many complications, and an assisted living facility, again, may be the answer. Sign number 6, house upkeep is neglected. Attending to the house and keeping it clean and clutter-free, it's important to the health of an individual. This is a task that many find more difficult as they age, and being unable to keep up is a sign that an assisted living should be considered. Another sign, lack of companionship. As the person ages, companionship continues to be important to their emotional health. If many friends that have already passed on your loved one's social activities have decreased, as an assisted living facility could renew their social interaction and happiness. Sign number 8. This is an important one. The home becomes dangerous. How can the home become dangerous? Well, consider the safety of your loved one's present living situation could be a factor in whether or not to consider an assisted living. As they age, many people find stairs difficult to manage, which may lead to falls or daily chores going left undone. Also, the location of your loved one's home, such as a busy street in town, could be dangerous if they tend to wander. That's why this becomes kind of dangerous. Sign number 9, this is very common in all the adults, the memory loss. Sometimes our elderly loved ones start to be forgetful, and their minds are no longer what they once were. As a signs of certain cognitive impairments related to age manifest, consider an assisted living becomes important. Another sign is neglect of bills and financial obligations. This is usually an extension of the memory loss, the sign that we just mentioned before. If your aging loved one financial situation is not as it is to be, it is a sign that they may need someone assistant in this department. Some of these signs include paying bills twice, receiving final notice from creditors, and investment in scams are the most common signs of neglect of bills and financial obligations. Sign number 11, angry, aggressive moves. As someone progressively loses much of their memory or exhibits cognitive impairment due to age, they may become combative. Aggression could be dangerous for the caregiver as well as the aging loved one and staff. In an assisted living facility, they are trained to handle aggressive situations and keep patients safe. The last sign that we want to mention is risky driving behaviors. And this is a very dangerous sign because we need to be aware of any accident. This is dangerous to your aging loved one's health. If they are becoming a worse driver or are doing things they normally will not, this could be a sign to consider an assisted living home. Assisted living facilities usually provide transportation services. If you start notice traffic tickets or unexplained or frequent dent or scratches on their vehicles, then you should look into other housing options. Take in consideration these 12 signs the next time you think taking care of your loved one is overwhelming, and perhaps they will help you to make this decision regarding the assisted living. If you are considered placement, please contact us. Well, now that you have some clues to identify that it is the time to do the movement, it comes the big thing: how to start the long conversation, how to talk to your parents about the assisted living, how to confront them. Well, as the 12 signs that I just mentioned, we have some other signs or topics that you can talk with them. Sometimes it becomes clear to an adult child that his or her parents need to make a move to an assisted living facility. This may be because a chronic health condition that is currently in decline, repeated falls, a recent close call, a lack of proximity or ability of family members, or increasing difficulty with managing everyday activities, such as taking medications on time, staying well groomed, eating regularly, or handling chores. However, children often hesitate to raise the topic of assisted living with the parents they love. The idea of assisted living can bring with it fears of mortality, worries over loss of independence, and other emotional weights. Consequently, adult children will often delay these important conversations for too long until the need for assisted living becomes pressing. Don't let that happen to you. Be proactive about talking to your parents and tackle the issue in a reasonable time and place. Well, here are 6 useful tips that will help you to talk to parents about assisted living. The number 1 is keep the discussion going. Begin by planting the seeds, perhaps in a situation such as after an injury, or when a parent is complaining about the difficulty of accomplishing everything he or she would like to accomplish. Mention how an assisted living could help to prevent such injuries in the future, or how it can provide extra help that will lighten your parents' burden. Another tip, number 2, recruit your siblings to help. If you have brothers or sisters, first talk with them about their opinions on assisted living. Come to an agreement about how, when, and where you want to encourage your mom or dad to take that immense step. You can talk to your parents individually, and then as the need becomes more pressing, consider a group meeting. Perhaps you can combine the conversation with an enjoyable family dinner. Tip number 3, take your parents around town to tour local assisted living facilities. Make your research. Contact a senior living placement specialist to assist you with the assessment of the needs. Arrange appointments for tours and do evaluation of each community. Many mother facilities are more like retirement communities than nursing homes, and you can relieve some of mom or dad's fears by showing them the kind of environment and activities that are available at such places. A tip number 4 is get the family doctor involved. If your parent doctor is able to speak with them about the facility or privacy concerns, plan to meet with him or her. Find out how much care your doctor thinks your parent actually needs. If the doctor agrees that a facility is the right choice. That's important. Number 5 tip is don't act as the decision has been made. Approach your parent with the possibility of the assisted living, but be sure to present other options as well. And number 6 tips, be cautious in your phrasing. Words such as community and retirement style living may be more appealing to your parents than the term assisted living, and will certainly sound better than nursing home or foster home. Try to be calm and pleasant in your tone and avoid condensation. Remember that your parents are your parents. 7th tip, find out what they will miss about home and other reassurance. Maybe your parents are afraid you won't visit as often once they are shuffled away to an assisted living facility. Maybe they fear their grandchildren won't be around on a regular basis. Reassure them that you will continue to be a return part of their lives, even when they are professionals around to help. Perhaps they fear having to rid themselves of their favorite possessions. Let them know that they can bring favorite plants with them, or that you will find a good, loving home for a beloved pet. Let them know that they can bring favorite plants and other items, and that there are people who know the community can help them make the decisions about what they can bring. It can be hard to let go. Let your parents know that they don't have to let go entirely. And number 8, review finance. Parents may be concerned that assisted living is too expensive and that it will quickly exhaust their resources. Consulting with a senior living placement specialist enables you and your parents to get a complete understanding of the costs and services that are available at the communities that are under consideration. Review with those communities or assisted living everything that it's included in the assisted living package that they may currently pay for separately, from utilities and meals to entertainment and maid service. While conversation about assisted living will never be easy, with these 8 tips, you can broach the topic with some confidence. To resume, don't forget to be honest, talk in person, ask questions, share someone else's long-term care story, offer education to your parents, ask their opinion, and write them a letter. With these topics and these signs and these tips that I just give you, I will finish the first 2 topics that we want to present to you in this webinar. Now I'm gonna let Paulina to explain a little bit more about our facility, Harmony Sun City Care. Paulina?
Hi, good morning. So my name is Paulina. I am a caregiver here at Harmony Sun City Care. And I'll just go ahead and tell you a little bit about the routine that we carry out, how we work, and what it is about us that makes us unique. So here at Harmony, we're very focused in trying to offer more of a home feel environment. So we try to make our residents feel like they are at home. Every single room is personalized to each of the residents' likes and stuff that they want to bring with us, like we mentioned, that they're important to them, so, and they don't want to leave behind. So as a caregiver in an assisted living, we are basically not only in charge of helping our residents in their routines, such as changing, using the restroom, cleaning. We're also in charge of their meals, so that way we can make sure that they're getting all the nutrients that they can, that they're carrying out a good and healthy diet that's providing them with everything that they need. One of the biggest things that we do with them is also we're in charge of all of their medication and handling all of that. So it's also it's a good way for the residents to be able to, and the families as well, to feel a little more relaxed, knowing that they don't have to worry about that. We carry out all the processes and take charge of medications, and that way we just give it to them at the times that they need to take it, and we make sure that they always have their medications. So that way they're, in that sense, they're getting provided with everything that they need. We also do exercise with them in order to keep them active and mobile, as well as other activities depending on what each resident likes. These activities vary from day to day, so it can be drawing or painting to taking walks outside, or just talking, reading poems, listening to music. It just varies depending on each resident's likes and dislikes, and also what they're capable of doing. So that's just a little bit about us and what we do as caregivers. We're also trained in noticing all of these changes that residents may have with age, in order to be able to work hand by hand with both doctors and nurses to make sure that they're getting all the care and attention that they need, adjustments and medication when it's necessary, and all those changes that come presenting those signals that we need to be alert in order to know when a change needs to be made.
Perfect. Awesome, Paulina. Thank you. So I would like to give you the Harmony email so you can address any question you may have, or information about us, about the rooms. As Paulina mentioned before, we have private rooms, we have semi-private rooms, which means are to share with another residents. So any questions you may have, you can address to our email, which is manager@harmonysuncitycare.com. manager@harmonysuncitycare.com. And our phone number is 915-877-2414. 915-877-2414. So thank you very much for joining us. We'll be continue with the webinars. We're gonna choose different topics for each webinar. All of them, I am sure that are gonna be very interesting to you, to clarify any doubt you may have, and to help you to make the big decision. Thank you so much for participating.